Hi everyone, so I hope you're really well. I'm just getting ready for work, so I just thought I'd do like a quick sort of getting ready video, trying out some new products that I've got I've bought myself, and things that I've bought off Depop. And yes, I just thought I'd do like a get ready with me. I haven't done one in a while because my hair looks awful. I've just washed my hair and dried it, but you know where it's really, I don't know, like it's so fluffy and awful, so I just need to straighten it afterwards. But I've got my little headband on, keeping my hair out of my face as best I can. So I'm going to start off with, where have I put it there? So the first product I'm going to use I got from a Glossybox or a Birchbox, and it's the Camera Close Up Mask Moisturising Primer. So that is this one. Let's see if it focuses. I'm using my new phone as well, so I don't know how well this is going to work. Oh, it's quite a lot, but this is the first time filming a video for YouTube on this phone, so we're just hoping that it just goes well. So yeah, I'm just going to work. I'm doing a 3:11 shift today, so. And before doing this, I did put on some right in my mouth. I did put on some moisturiser because I've got really bad dry skin. Don't know if you can see there, my nose. So I just used one of the Body Shop Vitamin E moisturising cream. Because as I've already done a video, I don't know if I've actually uploaded it or not. I think I deleted it, I'm not sure. I am an Ansomers rep, because I'm thinking about, I'm in a raffle. I'm a Body Shop rep, so I do a lot of my own, like I use their products out of my kit, because they work really well on my skin. That one's for all skin types, so why not just use your kit instead of having it sat there. I love using products from the Body Shop as well, especially when, you know, like they're sort of not free but still only cost me £49 for the whole kit, which is brilliant. For a starter kit, I think that's great. Right, so that is my primer on. It feels lovely on my skin. It's not sticky, but you know it's there, that type of a thing. So I'll just put that on the side because that needs to go back in my drawer. Then I've got two shades here. So what it is this product here. I got it, it's the Infallible, I think it is. And it's the 24-hour fresh wear foundation. I think it's L'Oreal. I can't seem to see the make anywhere. It doesn't say. I think it's L'Oreal, but because I've used it that much. But because of the shade, it's meant to be in shade Ivory, as far as 110 Vanilla Rose, and I'm an Ivory. So what I normally do is I use the Match Perfect, this is Rimmel, and I mix the two together. This is a fair porcelain colour. So yeah, I mix the two together to make it like a lighter colour, if that makes sense. So I put a few drops on my hand. I'm going to put maybe another one. And then I put one squirt of just this on because this is very thick, whereas that's very liquidy. And then what I normally do is, because I've just cleansed my hands anyway when I brush my teeth, I just rub the two together to make it a mixed colour. Mix it a little bit more because it looks... There we go. Then all I do is, like, anything that's on my finger, I just rub onto my face because... And then I have wet up a sponge. So I've got my sponge here. The difference, I didn't ever used to know about wetting up your sponge, so that used to be what I used to use, and it's so different compared to like the texture of them both, which I really love. So all I'm going to do is just, I am using a mirror as well, so if anyone thinks like, why are you looking away from the camera, I can't do my makeup just looking at the camera. I don't know why. I think as well, because I'm going to work, I like to make sure it's all done properly. I think I want is going to work and have patches everywhere because you can't see on a camera. Plus I haven't got my glasses on while I do my makeup as well, so I can hardly see as it is. See, the coverage is okay, but it still shows a lot on the spots. What is the coverage on this? Doesn't say on there. Doesn't say on there. And then this one says invisible coverage. So to be honest with you, I've probably not picked. I don't understand that, why it says invisible coverage. So does that mean it's not going to cover anything? Because if it does, why would you want to buy a foundation like that? I don't get that. I'm glad that's not like my main foundation, because I'd be screwed. It works really well for me though, because obviously I need a lighter colour, if that makes sense, just to add with the darker colour. Because I bought loads on Superdrug, and I'm one of these that I don't like taking things back. I just can't. And I ordered offline once with the Rimmel, and I bought, I think it was the Stay Matte, and I bought 3 colours, because obviously there were 3 for 2, and I thought, well, foundation's one thing I like run out of so quickly. So I bought 3, and all 3 were the wrong shade, and they refused to like swap them round when I went in the store, which I thought was ridiculous, because I had my receipt and everything, but apparently you can't do that. Stupid, honestly. So then why do I buy offline if you can't swap it in the store? I had my receipt, there was a receipt number, I showed her the email, everything. No, she just wouldn't change it. So instead I had to buy another lighter shade with the same foundation and do it that way, if that makes sense. Right, so I'm just gonna get, I don't know if I've got another mirror anywhere. No, I don't. Oh, wait, there. I'm sure the Sleek. Yeah. Thank goodness for the Sleek mirror. Let's just have a look. It doesn't help that it's dusty, so I can hardly see anywhere. I've got all my products out my drawer ready anyway in front of me, so I'm glad I got this out. So I think that's all my foundation done. As you can see, it is quite a good shade for me when you mix them all together. I'll give you a bit more of a close-up, so you can oh, look at that double chin. I need to do something about that. But as you can see, it is a good colour for me, and it matches really well with my skin. So the next thing I'm going to use is my concealer. Where on earth? Oh, there it is. So for this one, I'm using All Night Long by Barry M, and it's a full coverage concealer in shade 2 Oatmeal. So I'm going to get my mirror out again. Now, I don't ever know really how to conceal or anything like that, so all I just do is do it underneath my eyes and then on the creases of my nose here, just because I do get a lot of redness there. So all I normally do is just a line as such. I don't use a lot. Might do a little bit more. Just make sure it's fully covered. But it's a great coverage on these. And then, as I say, I don't know if you can see there, it's already really red. So I just put a little bit on either side. Right. I'll just put you there. And then I'll just use my sponge. And then I'll do it underneath the eye. What I also tend to do is grasp the beauty blender and made it thinner, and then use it on its side there like that. So that's all I really do, just for underneath the eyes. I ain't a makeup artist. I don't really know what I'm doing when it comes to makeup, to be honest, but this is just how I do it. Especially if you're going for work, I'm not sort of in a massive rush to do too much. So I don't know if you can see there, that's quite full coverage. Right. Next thing I'm going to do is use the Stay Matte powder in transparent. I just use this to sort of set my face as such. I don't really do much with it. I don't know much about what you do with it, to be honest. So all I just use is, I don't know what type of brush this is. It's just like a flat-ended brush. And then I just go around my face where I don't use a lot of this, because before I used to, like before when I used to do makeup, this used to really dry me out and make me itchy. Whereas now I've sort of got used to it as such, but I don't like to still use too much because it's too much product on my face, I find. Especially just for going to work. I don't like to overdo it too much, but just make sure everything's sort of set. You don't see much differences. Say it's transparent, but it just does as a setting. When I've done that, I get this brush. It's on a bit of an angle. Don't know how well you can see it. If I don't use that one, I sometimes use that, which is more angled. I'll use this one actually, just because this is sometimes. And I get the Sleek Face Form Contouring and Blush Palette in Fair 372. I got this in my Glossybox or Birchbox. I don't know which one it was. I've only just recently started doing this, so it's something new. I've learned from a few YouTubers of how to do. So I just use the top colour there, which is like the bronze colour. And I don't do a lot because, like I say, I'm just going to work, but it does have a bit of an impact. Just make sure there's not a lot on there. I'll use this mirror. And all I tend to do is, because I feel like if you're swiping it so much, you find that, like, I don't know, I don't feel like I get enough from it. Whereas if you dab it, I feel like you get quite a bit from it. After this, I normally get the powder brush that I've used to set my face and to lighten it down a little bit, because I feel like that's quite a lot, especially on my cheeks. And for somebody who doesn't do it that much, that's just far too much. Oh, goodness me. So like I say, all I do is just sort of dab the brush on. And it looks really nice either side, like. It does look lovely. So then I'm just going to put that brush back, use the brush that I used earlier. I normally just put it into the powder once, just to make sure there's something on it. And then I just go over it. This is just because I'm a bit funny about being too out there. And because I don't know like loads about makeup, and I've never really done my makeup that much, I don't want to look stupid, if that makes any sense. So obviously, as you can see, like, I haven't done loads, if anything very little compared to what a lot of people do, but still there's that colour there. But yeah, then the next thing I do is I just get this quite big brush. It's from Brushworks and it's the blusher brush. I got this off Jay for Christmas. It's really cute though, because he went and got me like loads of little makeup bits, and I don't really use blush, so I've just started using this one out of the Sleek blush palette. So I just do a little bit on there and dab it. Obviously I don't really wear blush, so this is something completely out of like what I wear, but it just adds a little bit of colour to my cheeks. And that's all I normally do for cheek wise or face wise, like setting. Just because, like I say, I'm not really confident on wearing like too much and looking stupid. So the next thing I'm going to use, I've just got this morning. I don't know whether to use, I've got this one as well. I got this from Depop. So it was like the Urban Decay light beam eyeshadow palette. So this is the colours inside, which are very beautiful. But then I've also got this from, and it's Saffron Baker's Beauty Bay collab. And I got this off a girl on Facebook. I'm on a group. And this is this one. It's a really pretty one. I've not got this, like I've not had anything like this before, so I thought I'd treat myself. But what I'm going to just do is use this Urban Decay one, just because when I opened it the other day, it was one I really wanted to use, and I might use a little bit of the Beauty Bay as well. So I'm going to use this brush from, I believe, Primark. It's the 252 eyeshadow blending brush. I know you're not meant to do this yet, but this is just how I do my eyeshadow, and it's different to other people, but it doesn't really matter. So I'm going to use the first light colour there, which is nude, and I'm just going to do it as like the base colour of my eyes. Now we have like a little mirror in here as well, so I'm just going to use that and obviously try and show you the best I can while doing it. But I'm just going to use it on the side so you might be able to still see a little bit of something. So as you can see, there's obviously I've done the base colour there. You can see there's slightly like the colour difference between the two. So then I'm going to use, let's have a little look at a different brush. I really like these little brushes that I got with I think they were from Revolution, I think. It's just one of these like fluffy brushes at the end. I'm just going to use, let me think how I'm going to do this. The Vibe colour, which is this one here. And it's like a glittery colour. Obviously I don't know how well you're going to see because the lighting's ridiculous. My eyes look pretty in this light though, so I'm not complaining. So as you can see, just a little pat does enough. And then I'm just going to do the inner side of my eyes. So I'm just going to pat that on. I try not to be too like much, because if you do too much there's no way of sort of like sorting your eyes out after you've done that. So all I ever seem to do is I put a little bit there and then I just, what do I do? Brush it out. Thinking what on earth is it that I'm doing? I've like lost my train of thought. My fish and chips have just come, so I'm ever so slightly excited. Just double check the time. So as you can see, there's that done. So just do this eye. Remember to put a bit more on. And then at the end, because I don't really go to work with like a massive eyeshadow on, what I normally do is use the concealer I've used on the under eye and just conceal there and bring it down to shape the eyeshadow the way I want it. Maybe I should have done my eyes first because there's a lot of kickback here on my face. But that's me, not the eyeshadow. I think it's me because I've used too much. So obviously if the two eyeshadows are a different sort of shape and height, obviously I just sort that out at the end, but they're not too different. Seems okay. And then I'm debating on whether to use that colour next, the Golden Hour. The Golden Hour is this silvery colour here, and it's just beautiful. So I think I'm going to use that. See what it looks like with that on. Yeah. So I'm going to use the flat-ended brush with that. I don't think that's going to work though. Let me just have a look. No. So I'm just going to use my finger for that because I feel like my finger's going to be more of an effect. That to me hasn't done really anything. Not yet, it hasn't, but I guess if you build on it, it would. It's lightened it down a lot, which is how I like it. I like it to sort of not be too like in your face, especially when we're just going in a shop to work, but I like it to have some sort of see, for some reason that's just the colour. I don't know where that colour's come from, but I'm going to use my concealer again underneath there anyway, so I'm not too concerned. But I think that looks a lot nicer than the other eye does because it's got a shimmer on it. So I'm just going to do that again on the other eye. Right, now Now underneath the eye, I don't know if anyone can see, there's like a lot of kickback. Now I was thinking it was me, but at the same time I'm thinking that's like, there's quite a lot. Maybe I should have done my eyes first. All I'm thinking I might use is, I've just got this through the door this morning. It's a package from a girl on Facebook. It's the Colourpop Super Shock Shadow in metallic. And it is shade Liberty. And I'm really debating on using that ever so slightly on my eyes. But I know there's no such thing as ever so slightly with this eyeshadow, because I've just tried it and it's just amazing. I'm going to give you a swatch first. So this is, let me do it. It is just unbelievable. I just can't believe how pigmented it is. But I'm just worried about using that on my eyes and overdoing it. I'm going to slightly use it and just hope for the absolute best. And then all I'm going to use is this side of the brush and try and... So I don't want to add too much to it, because then I feel like it'll take away a lot of the colour. But just like a hint of it would be quite nice, I think. And then, just to be a bit extra, I'm just going to use a tiniest little bit more of the Vibe shade, the first shade, and just do the ends of here. Because I do feel like that looks quite nice actually. Right. All I'm going to quickly do is use the brush I usually use, which is this one. It's just a foundation brush that people would use to put the foundation on. I'll put a little bit underneath there, a little bit underneath there, try not to put myself in the eye. I'm trying to do it so people can actually see what I'm doing rather than using the mirror, but I want it to look fine. I don't want it to look stupid. So all I'm going to do is use my little mirror for my sleek one. Now this works every time for me, so if this doesn't work this time and I look daft, I won't be happy. So all I do is I work on making that look, so now I feel like that looks a lot better on my eye. Oh, itch. I don't know if anyone can see that. Why is that burning? Under my eye there, just burning. Don't know how well anyone can see what I'm doing here, so all I'll quickly do is show you here. And then I just sort of bring it around there. So hopefully when this has actually been blended out properly, they look quite a similar shape, I would hope. See, I'm really happy with that. Like, I've learned so many things from just starting YouTube and like watching a few videos. Like, my face would never normally look like this. It'd normally look really minging. So then the last thing I'm going to use is this that I got from one of my Glossybox or Birchboxes, which I still use now. It's the Black Magic mascara, and it's the Drama and Curl one. Now I have the other one, which is a sports one, and it's the waterproof one, but I don't feel like I get away with it as much as I do this one. Watch myself put myself in the eye now, like I did on my last video when I was like, oh, it's so good. So all I'm going to do is just only thing I find with this is you can't really get into the little parts of your eyes, and it can look really clumpy if you go over it too much as well. I'll add that bit in because already that part of my eye looks clumpy and I've not really gone over that yet. So I might use a different one just to, what I normally do is I keep one, so just say the one's really like fine, I normally keep it and sort my eyelashes out with like one that has run out, if that makes sense. Don't you ever find there's always one side of your eye looks perfect and then the other just looks awful? Like that has gone on really lovely and then that one looks really clumpy. I don't understand. Right. Oh. So that's that side done as well. And then all I'm going to do is go and get, actually no, it's in my makeup drawer. Let's have a little look. Get you. So I've got the Volume Millionaire lashes, and then all I'm going to do is just go over them and make sure that they're not massively clumpy, whereas this is quite a lovely fine brush. It normally seems to sort them out quite nicely. Same on this side, whereas this side isn't too bad, but still. So there we go, so that's sort of my finished look. I'm going to go away and quickly do my hair and sort the hair out, and then I'll be back just to show you sort of what I've done with my hair. So normally what I do is I straighten the ends of my hair. Normally I do, but for some reason my hair isn't looking too bad. It looks nice and fluffy. Fluffy. So I'm just going to leave it like this because I feel like it's quite nice. And it still looks straightish even though it's randomly wavy. So I'm just going to leave my hair like this. It looks quite pretty. But yeah, as you can see, this is sort of like the finished look. It's not dramatic. It's not anything. It's just how I've done my hair just to go, and my makeup to go to work. So I really hope everyone's well. Obviously with everything going on, it's not a great like time. But I hope everyone gets over it okay and we can all go back to normal, live our happy lives. And it's just scary, and it's not very nice to work in it either. Like, you get a lot of like awfulness every day. We get a lot of customers who aren't happy with us, don't like the way we do things. Like, if we've asked people to line up or queue in a separate way to how they used to, we're getting a lot of stick for that. And it's just ridiculous. You just think, like, you see a lot of people posting saying, oh, well done key workers, this, that and the other, but then they're getting a lot of stick. Like, the key workers getting stick for certain things. You hear about people making people cry, and it's just like, just be nice to people. Why do you need to be awful? Just remember that, yeah, you're going through a lot of stress, yeah, you don't like change, and yeah, you don't want to do it a certain way, but we don't want, neither do we, but we have to. That's what we have to do. So yeah, just remember to be kind and stay safe, and I hope everyone's okay. But I'll be back with another video. I'm sorry it's taken so long to do this video, but I just haven't had the like ideas or what to do and the money to really buy anything new. But yeah, thank you for watching. I'll be back with another video.